Want het is sugar. You want of you
No,
get
no,
the
no,
food.
no.
You get
No,
you get the delicious.
Zoetjes you gave me?
You get the delicious food in the plane.
Yes, absolutely. From
The delicious plane.
Rabbi Oppenheimer.
Ah, oh, dat is beter. You doesn't chagris already?
Yes, in the plane. Yes, yes, it's hoch here. But I had a good thing that I have Shivos of Tammoez I ate in the morning till 6:40, and in the evening at 6 o'clock it was already night, and it was 5 degrees, so it was not too hot.
Simple mogelijk. Now we had
A bit longer.
6 past 11.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah.
So,
Okay. So the subject that I want to speak today is a very, very important subject. The Gemara says, "Es הנבלה לגר אשר בשעריך תתננה ואכלה." What is a nevela? You have to give it to someone who is not Jew, that he can eat it. So Gemara in Avodah Zarah learned from it that if he cannot eat it, it's permitted. Okay?
Wait a minute, again.
if you
את הנבלה אשר בשעריך, לגר אשר בשעריך תתננה ואכלה, you have to give the non-kosher product to the non-Jew,
yeah.
ואכלה, and he has to eat it. But if he cannot eat it more, because it's not edible, so it's again permitted.
Just get to me. Yeah.
What?
Okay. Yes.
That means that if you give him a stukje varken vlees, and no, you give him and he said that is not edible, so you can eat it. Okay?
You can eat it. We can eat it.
We can eat it.
Because it's not het is voor hem niet eetbaar. Ja. Of haar. En dan.
Okay, so the question is...
The question is kosher or not kosher?
It's not kosher.
It's not kosher, but still you are allowed
to eat it.
Wow.
Wow, because what the Torah has forbidden us is to eat something which is edible, but something which is not edible, it's not forbidden. Okay?
Which brochen?
What is not, no brochen.
Maybe it's not kosher, but it's nevela, and nevela could be
no, it's a nevela, it's not kosher.
Yeah.
But it's no more edible. So the question is, what is not edible?
Exactly.
Not edible for a human or not edible for an animal.
Yeah.
Okay? אין הראוי לכלב, you give to your dog and he says, they need to eat it.
Yeah.
Or it's enough that a normal human say, I will not eat it. What is very interesting is that we think that we know a lot of things. But the question is what is edible and what is not edible. It's not very easy because there is a lot of things who are disgusting, but still edible.
Yeah, cheese.
And that's a very good example. Sure, when you go in a factory of cheese, for example, that's what we are eating. But I'm not speaking now that if you go in a factory of sutjes, you don't want to eat any candies more. But that's another story. That's not the question. So no more edible, but there are things that the Gemara says mefurish that it's edible, and one of them is me raglaim shel chamor.
Me raglaim shel chamor.
From Essel, how do you say it?
Dat is de merklijm. Dat is
de pipi van de Essel. Van de Essel.
Dat is not edible to drink.
That's not nice to drink it. But it's considered by the halacha that it's still edible. Okay? So now we have to see what is edible, what is not edible, and what is not edible at all. Okay? So for Pesach, for example, if I make with wheat and water, I make glue.
Lijm.
For
Glue, yeah.
Not eatable.
Sticky,
It's not
to
the,
stick.
Yes.
het is niet de bedoeling.
So it's not the bedoeling, but no, it's edible. Not only it's edible, but for example, you buy pastalina for kids. Pastalina, you know how to make pastalina to make work. Kids make work of aleph or base,
Vandaag.
clay,
Oh, yeah.
clay. But it's done with wheat and water. Okay. Why they make it like this? Why they make it?
You can eat it.
Because they don't want the kids eat something which is not edible. Okay. So before we enter the details and go in halachic, I will give an example. The Ashkenazim are not eating kitniot.
Yes. Why?
Okay, that's not the
I
question.
don't said it never.
Okay, you don't understand, but it's not a problem. That's only in Amsterdam that they don't understand, but in all around the world they understand. Every time when I come here, I get question about kitniot.
Oh no.
Okay. So that's not the question. So the Ashkenazim, they have not a big choice till in the past 20 years. No, you can make food from everything. You can make from things who come from Japan, from things who come from all around the world. You can have pita and you can have falafel and you can have everything done with another product. But I'm not speaking about this. But of course, the consumptions of eggs by Ashkenazim during Pesach is consumption, okay? Because they have not a lot to eat, so potatoes and eggs are a very, how do you say, a very important
course.
domain. Okay. So one day came a guy in Israel, took an egg, put it in yod, and it got
Where?
yod.
Yoghurt.
Yod. Yod. How do you say yod? It's
White and liquid.
It's a liquid that you put on when you have a not mercurochrome, but yod.
Ontsmettend.
And it got blue. So the reaction from starch to starch
Jodium.
with yodium.
Disinfection.
Exactly. Starch with yodium gets blue. So the chief rabbi of Tnuva, who are in charge of the eggs, the kosher eggs in Israel, said the eggs are chometz if there is starch on the eggs.
Is that possible? No, I don't think so.
So he said, so he was thinking, what can it be? What can it be? The egg is not chometz. So he said, maybe the ink, whether it says the date of the birth of the egg, and the caliber, if it's number 3, number 4, if it's a big egg, or maybe that's the problem. They say, I don't see any other problem.
Kan ook overdrijven.
So the rabbi said, okay, we are buying our ink from a very, very specialized company in France. So we are calling Rabbi Wolf. He will go in the factory and he will see if there is a problem. Okay. So I came to this ultra modern factory.
Yeah.
Why it's ultra modern? Because when you put on an egg is not flat. It's not so you need the machine is calculating the how do you say the difference between where the ink is going out and the place where it's going. So you don't have big letters and little letters. So it's already a very chachama, very intelligent machine. The second thing they say in the place where the keep gets the eggs at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's 10 degrees. At 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, it's 35 degrees. So we have a problem because the ink is no more such so the how do you say the little needle where the ink goes out is no more enough. So they need to put how do you call it a solvent in the ink to make it more how do you say
Invisible.
yes. So like the Sofrim, when they make a Sefer Torah, they want that all the Sefer Torah is the same. Yes.
Yes.
So they buy Dio Kites and Dio Choref. They have ink for winter and ink for yes.
Dat kan die doen.
Okay. So
Moet je vloeibaar worden.
Yeah.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. You have gezegd the exact naam. So
Liquid.
So this machine calculates also this about the temperature to make it more liquid, to make it more fluid. Okay, so it's a very smart machine. Okay, and of course, when they sell the machine, they sell also the ink. So now you go in this mega factory.
And the ink can be a mixture of the low and the.
1 second.
Okay.
So I went first factory, big, how do you say, where they do ink for, how do you say, to put on my iPhone, to put on the iPad, to put on your watch, to put, that's ink who is not edible, who is done by, how do you say, petrol, by, do you call petrol?
Petrol. Petroleum.
Yeah, petroleum. Okay.
Benzine, petroleum.
When you have ink who has to go on the cheese, who has to go on the eggs, who has to go on something you can eat, or like meat, that stamp on the meat.
That's eatable.
The ink there is a law that you can say, like for the tea, שהכל נהיה בדברו, that you can take a pot of ink and drink it with no any problem.
It is edible.
Edible.
Yes.
Okay.
It is no problem, but it's a problem because it can be vomit.
So now, if it's edible, you have to have it and kosher at Pesach. Okay. When you make something edible, how do you do it? You do it exactly like your grandmother did it, like your grandmother did it, because the new things that are the artificial one. That means when I get a colored, how do you say, zutius, with E124 or 29, that's how do you say, a color who is done from, the color stuff is done from petrol, okay? But it's not very, so of course you have here that can bring the cancer, that can bring this, and that it's not, can bring to children to be hyperactive, etc. So they go back to natural products, okay? What is natural product? What we had in the history, what we had in the past. So when I came in this laboratorium where they did the ink for the eggs, they do the ink exactly like the Shulchan Aruch say to do ink for soifrim. Cantum from this how do you say bone, and from this bone, and you put together, and that's the reaction. Exactly, they didn't invent anything. What we
That's
did.
a problem for us.
Okay, so now if it's natural, of course, it can be non-kosher slash non-kosher Pesach. So the question was here, non-kosher Pesach. That was the first question.
Yeah.
There was no anything of chometz, no any starch in this product, no any alcohol who is from wheat, nothing to do with chometz. Kosher it was not. But okay, kosher it was not, but in kashrut we can say it's chazuta. It's only a color. It's only to see. It's not to give any taste. Okay? So we can be more lenient for kashrut. But of course, if you do under tuzirt, so I did not with fish ink and not with how do we say koshnil, and not all the yes.
Very expensive.
Yes, so I took out all the color, the natural color who were for animal, and I took everything who was vegetable. So that was the pan because I did the hersher. So I cannot give a hersher if it's not kosher, if it's only le pesach and not kosher. Okay. So I came back to this rabbi, and I told him, your product was not kosher, but it was le pesach. There was no any problem of chometz. So they investigate more, and they saw that the place where the kip gave birth was dirty, and there was still starch from the fooding from for the animals. Now, nothing to do with the ink, but it was that the place was not clean. Okay, so they decided to clean it, and then there was no any problem. But Baruch Hashem, this time on, I give the helper in this factory for the ink. So how do we say? It's a win-win story.
Where was this factory?
This factory is in France, in Avignon.
Avignon.
Come on.
Sur le pont d'Avignon. You know that the pont d'Avignon is yeah. When I went there, but I saw that it's a round because you say you dance round.
Yeah.
But it's not like this. The Pont d'Avignon is exactly like there is in Amsterdam with a clump. That was the Pont d'Avignon. The Pont d'Avignon is a half. It doesn't go on the other side, and every boat who was going through had to pay. So it was exactly the same like in Amsterdam. That's the Pont d'Avignon. So that's what I saw in the factory, and there was no any problem of. They did so. We do every year a kosher production for all Israel, with no koshnil, with no fish ink, with no any animal product, and it's very interesting because all these things has all big lomdes. That means if you put on a for example on a how do you call it on a blick here, you need that when it goes out of the autoclave, it has no more the same color, so they know if it was in the autoclave or not in the autoclave. So they can see if the date is now red or blue. That means that it has changed the color because it was now 1 hour in distillation, in how do you call it, sterilization. Okay, so to say that when I start my shiur, so I spoke about meraglaim shel chamor. You say, what's a crazy man? He wants to drink meraglaim shel chamor. is not normal, this rabbi. We have to send him to Sinai Clinic. and the answer is not at all. Because nowadays, once Yair Eisman asked me for a Hersher, because he was taking vitamin from hair, human hair.
Yeah.
Okay? So he was afraid that it's animal, human, that people will not take it. Okay? So we have a principle that hairs and bones are not
It's
edible.
Not eatable.
Not edible.
Dus you don't need to make brogen because it is no food.
So you can eat
You can
also.
You can't eat.
You can eat
can
also pig hairs. Hairs of a pig, you can eat them. Okay? So that means that if tomorrow they find something against COVID in the hair of the pig and they make from it, how do we say? There is no any problem. Okay? So now the question is, that's one way. The Gemara in Psochim, Daf Chof Dalet Amud Beis, say another point. If you eat it, shelo kederech hanoso. Shelo kederech hanoso. Where is the hanoah? Where is the pleasure of food? Where? A few centimeters. Okay. That means if I put a tube and I like a gestoppte Gans and I enter a food which is not kosher, no problem.
No problem because you are not eating it.
You are not eating. It's
It's
not the derech achile. Not because I have no pleasure, because it's not the derech achile. Okay? So say the Ksav Soifer, that everything that how do you say, that I swallow,
Yes.
is not considered derech achile. Okay. So according to Ksav Soifer, not only because it's a medication, but because you don't eat it, so you can take all the medication with no any.
No,
not
definitely. Even if you have an injection.
No, injection, sure not, but so you can take the pills that they give you. 1, 2, 3, 4. You put it on the table.
But if you chew it, what happens then?
No problem.
Chew it.
Actually, that's a problem.
Yeah,
That's a problem.
because then you get.
That's the derech hanos.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you can have other reason why it's possible to eat. Maybe it's no more ro'il achile because maybe in the laboratorium they did it with.
So actually, if you have a medicine which is considered food and you put it in your
That's not any problem.
whatever it can be, from pigs or whatever, from snakes, it's okay.
Also on Yom Kippur.
Also, when you give yeah.
Yes, that's not considered eating. Okay, but you are not obliged to take someone who cannot fast on Yom Kippur. He can eat. He doesn't need to go to say to the doctor, Erev Yom Kippur, please put me an infusion as I have. No, there are people who do it.
Really?
There are people who do it.
But that is not necessary.
That's not necessary.
Yeah.
Okay, not necessary. Okay,
Dus een minder stos-effect.
That's a minute.
only if it's people who are not at all ill, but are weak people. In halacha, there is how do you say, a certain amount of people who are not considered ill at all. So they have no any disease. His heart, blood pressure extra, cholesterol extra, but he is already 95. It's not a reason not to fast. There are poskim who says that because this age is nowadays so you are so weak that you need to eat. Okay, but there are poskim who say no. If you feel good, you have to fast. So there are these kind of people, for example, who are in a kind of old age home, or they ask for perfusion, so they say, I will be, how do you say, I will feel good. And it's more for the feeling. It's not, they, how do you say, the doctor say he doesn't need to eat. The rabbi say it's okay if he doesn't feel good.
Generally,
Yes.
eating is not the problem, but drinking.
Yes.
is easy.
Yes.
The drinking is not eating.
Yeah. 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 Everyone with his, what?
The taste.
No.
No, exactly.
So the Gemara in Avodah Zarah Daf Samach Zayin Amud Beis says another thing, because you asked me about taste. Noisen tam livgam mutar. Noisen tam livgam mutar. When something, there is nowadays a date on a product. Yes, you can eat it till 25 of June.
Even later.
Okay, so it depends. It depends which product.
Yeah.
It depends which product. There are products who they are obliged to put a date, but two years after that you can also eat. There are products who are very sensitive, and a day after you cannot eat it. Okay. And there are things that they lose their taste. It's still edible. You don't get sick.
If you drink cola and the date is not any good anymore, the taste is
Yes,
gone.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Is drinking. Oké, maar met cola is dat echt.
Yes, yes.
Smaak is gewoon.
Yes. And there is another thing also that the smaak is totally, so it can be noisen tam livgam. We spoke before about the chometz nukshe that we have on the glue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you have also in the past they did also chometz. With chometz they did shoe polish.
You should put just.
Ja.
Okay, in the
And
past.
as a person asked
Ik weet het.
the rabbi, what can I do with shoe polish? Now, if you put it on the matzah, then you may not eat it.
No, you may eat it.
No, there's no eat.
No, that's the thing. If you put it now on the matzahs, because it's no more edible. It's not ten tam livgam. Okay, so it's not discussing because you think because shoe polish has nothing discussing in principle. מרגליים של חמור,
Brown or
מרגליים של חמור, you say, I cannot drink it. But shoe polish, if tomorrow they say it, yes, it's sunflower oil with this and this. So it's you feel a bit ugly, but it can be that it's good. And that's exactly the example what I gave you before with the ink.
the chamor, yes.
Okay, so but the Gemara in Avodah Zarah Daf Samach Zayin says noten tam livgam. So the shaila, what the Rishonim asked, is noten tam livgam. That means it's no more the product. That means I explain you. That means I have no bread with noisen tam livgam, who gives a bad smell, is it no more bread, or is it still bread, but it's no more chometz?
The breakfast was.
For example, yes. For example, exactly. For example, what you do, how do you call it? What you do? No, there is people who put in the teig, they put or levure. How do you call it? Levure. What you buy to make it growing. Back. Or you can make also levain. What is levain? You take an old dough, you let it a few days get, and then all the bacteria that give you that you can make. Yes, zuurdough. Zuurdough.
Zuurdeeg.
Zuurdeeg. Zuurdegen. So normally the zuurdegen, the part that you put, is no more edible. In, how do we say, in the mountains, when you go in the Alps, they do the zuurdeg, you know with what?
Goat milk. No.
With the yogurt.
Yogurt.
With the yogurt. Okay, you can have the same bacteria to make it going.
Yeah.
Okay, so halachically, this bread is parva. Okay, because it's no more milk, it's no more yogurt. It's already the how do you say the non-edible yogurt that you did. So by zuurdough, also there is a thing. So then we asked before, do we need lo ראוי לאכילת אודום, that a man cannot eat it, or also אינו ראוי לאכילת כלב, that you need it more, that it's no more edible at all. So the שכונור says, שדבר פוגם את התבשיל אינו אוסר. Everything that you put in you and make it not edible more cannot forbid your meal. That means, if, for example, you put a kilo salt in your soup,
Kilo what?
Salt.
Zout in je soep.
so that, yeah,
Niet zo...
so that is edible,
No,
but
no.
no, it's no more edible. Okay, so
Dangerous.
yes, that's another question. Okay, so the question is, the Shach says, שאין כל שינוי מספיק כדי להפקיע שם איסור, אלא יש לבחון אם עדיין נשאר עליו שם איסור. The Shach says it depends on the name. It depends on the name. That means how you call a soup with 5 grams of salt. You will say that's a very salty.
Yeah.
With 10 grams, you say that's a very, very salty. With 50 grams, you say that's
Uneatable.
not a soup. That's not a soup. That's, how do we say, put it in the
In de prullenbak.
prullenbak. So that means that, so the Shach says,
Soup anymore.
so the Shach says it depends on the name. The Prima Godim, in a few places, he says that it depends on the use. That means, till now, I will use it to, how do we say, to drink it. No, I will use it to clean my toilets because there's a lot of salt. So that means that if the shimush, the purpose, has been changed, that says the Prima Godim. That's where we say we go on another stage.
It is uneatable.
Yes, but what is unedible? Because when you are forced, sometimes you can eat also things that are not edible. But the question is,
But
yes,
there is a law going on in Holland now.
yes,
They call it, we have, let's say, vegan meat,
yes,
but you're not allowed to call it meat anymore. So you change the name.
yes, absolutely.
But is that also an halachic thing?
Absolutely. So this halachic question is also legabe min beminoi u min be'eno minoi. I explain.
Yeah.
What is two? That means if I had, there is a psak that, how do we say that? No, any rabbi in Holland would be nowadays able to sign such, because he would be put in. No one would eat his hersher. But 40 years ago, there was a psak from Vaad Rabbanei Netherlands, so signed by Rav Just, Rav Kahn from Rotterdam, Rav Fink from Den Haag, Rav Ralbag and Rav Pereira from Amsterdam. Okay? And on this psak, they authorized to take fat from the factory in Rotterdam.
Rotterdam.
Yes.
Vet.
But what happened in the past in Rotterdam? And what is in 2026 in Rotterdam? Two world. Two world. Why is it two world? That means in the meantime, there was the Meshugana cow. Yes.
Yes.
Holy gekke
There was Corona. There was a lot of ziekte things. So nowadays they are very
Careful.
careful on cross contamination. They want that the palm oil who is coming now from Thailand is not going on the same how do you say way where the fish oil is coming from India. And
Which
the,
is trefa anyway, because
What?
we don't know which from which fish.
no, but in the past it
Yeah.
was the same. How do you say the same? How do you call it? Pipe to
Yeah.
get it out, and all these fats, the palm fat, the cocoa fat, the fish fat, the pig fat. That means how do you call it? Varken fat. Varken fat. All these fat, are not oil. That means you need to heat them to 72 degrees, 73 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
So that means there was halachically a cross contamination. Okay. So
So today,
one second,
we
one second.
can't go on this hasher.
One second. So this, in those days, they say, okay, you can take vegetable fat from Rotterdam, although it was mixed with non-vegetable because halachically it was not okay because there was no cleaning, there was no kashering, there was nothing. Okay, all this situation has changed. So nowadays, if you publish this kind of psak, they would say Heker Rabbein. You understand? Because they cannot understand it. They will say, you need.
Is it possible?
How is it possible? You know,
Kennis van de dag.
Ja,
yeah,
maar ze dachten dat het allemaal.
Ja, ja.
But the world is changing.
Absolutely.
So much.
absolutely. Not only changing, but also there is another point. You say changing, but there is also multi-choice. What is multi-choice? That means that there was a psak last week from the chief rabbi of Israel,
Of Shiva.
Rabbi Kalman Ber, chief rabbi Ashkenazi of Israel. He say, I don't want to permit all the whiskeys to enter Israel.
All the whiskey.
Whiskey?
To enter Israel.
Yes. He say, we have 400 sort who are entering, and 80 are glad, with no any question.
Yeah.
He say, I think that 80 sort of whiskey is enough.
Yeah.
So the question is,
Chicken for sure, yeah.
It could be right.
so the question is, when they go in Uruguay, Paraguay, Argentina to make a shchite, they say that our rules. You don't want, we are not coming here. So it means that if the one that the animal is standing and not, how do you say, turning, lying, they say, we are not coming in your country. But we, for ourselves, we cannot go according to the rule because we are in Holland. We need to do like in Holland. In England, they need to do like in England. But Israel, if they're importing, they have the choice. So also here, it's very easy for a chief rabbi of how do you say? But he say, I have only Dirk here. I have only, how do you say, Albert Heijn. I have no 400 choices. I have to choose in 20 sorts. So don't let me only 5 sort of whiskey. I will be very, very sad if I can drink only. So the question is every time, what is the choice? So
So
when
actually, what you say, there is no world values.
no, absolutely.
Okay.
And a second thing, so now we are speaking about something who was 100 years ago, this question was very popular question. It's about gelatin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Gelatin you do from bones, okay?
Yes, but it can also from fish.
Yes,
Kosher fish.
Chemical.
but you can do it or from fish or from, but fish they don't like. Why they don't like? They say that if you take a Haribo after 1 year, if you open the bag, if it's fish gelatin, there is a smell of fish. It gets the how do you say the deodorant, the deodorization.
It stinks.
It's not fish. And by animals and when there was the sugar cow, how they change?
Yes.
They took only from pig because there were no sugar in the pig. Yes,
But
there was no.
if it is not eatable,
So from a pig,
then
it's
it
okay.
can be kosher.
Absolutely. So that's where the big discussion. Okay. So now, so in Israel, the Rabbanut, the position of the Rabbanut was, we are not doing any products with gelatin in Israel, but if it's from Chutz La'aretz, we put le'ochle gelatin for these people who are eating gelatin. That means they gave a permission, but it's no more existing, this permission, because in 2015, I think, 10 or 12 years ago, they said there is enough fish kosher gelatin. So you can have all the candies with kosher gelatin. So you don't need to go so far to permit,
to fix.
because these kind of things, I finish.
No, no.
This kind of,
You have to go to bed.
no.
But it's not
This kind of things, how do you say, it's not according to all the poskim. That means that Moshe Feinstein says, for example, it's not enough change for to consider something new. Why? Because we have also a problem with considered, on one side you say panim chadashot, it's something new, but there is also another principle in halacha, which is called achsheve. What is achsheve? That achsheve is considered, before we spoke about Yaya Eisenman. It means
Yeah.
normally hair is nothing to eat. But if you have the genius to make it edible, so halachically it can be considered achsheve. You give it a chashivut. You give it a chashivut. Also, it was not edible, but now it's edible. So now there is 98 products who are done from animal products, who are changed, and how do you say? And they do from this they do enzymes, and from this they do, because in the nature there is all these products. So how do you say? So in United States there were very chemical products. They didn't look on how do you say, on your health. They were very mass industry. In Europe, you are already with what will be with how do you say, with surrounding, if there will be no pollution, what will be with the global heating, what will be with so there is a lot of discussion on every product, okay? And so there is already a lot of productions in Europe that they come back to the old fashion to do it. So more animal, more vegetable, and less product from the petrol and from other chemical industry. So we need to be very careful, because on one hand, all these products 150 years ago were in the market. And all the poskim said, that's okay, that's not okay. That's okay if you do it for only for medication, that's okay. So we have to go and dig back in the past because we know the clock is going back in another
Very
time.
difficult, very extremely
Yes, so,
complication.
and another question is, if you have a choice, if you don't have a choice, for example, there was a lady who asked me, I saw by Kruidvat two sorts of vitamin.
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 Yes,
So,
yes.
so there was one vitamin who was done from, how do you say, הקליפות של הענבים, they took out from the skin of the resin after it was wine already. When you press the wine, so you have so that's the extraction. Yes, so it's considered also already wine according to halacha. So she had from all this, or she had in a gelule was all what was inside was kosher, but the gelule was from pig.
Yeah.
So she asked me what is better to take, and it's
And
a
what was the
very
answer?
and the answer it's a machlokes. According to the Chazon Ish, you take not the gelule because it's the principe active, the active principle that is in your, how do you say, medication. So it's better than the envelope who is not the medication, who is only something who doesn't make you more, how do you say, in better health or not. It's only because it has to be open in the certain place in your stomach. So when you take a gelule, it opens. So it's very interesting to see, and we have more and more of this question because more and more people want more natural products.
But
And
how is it worldly seen? That means that if rabbis can decide for a country like this and
Yes,
a country like that.
absolutely.
So
Yes.
where is the
global-
traveling and the global? Because it's easy when it should be globalized.
Absolutely, but I am very, how do you say? In my opinion, it will never happen because
I often think
because we saw in the past before COVID and before the war with Ukraine, we saw that all the raw material, if there was 1 cent less, they bought in China. They bought. After Corona came and there was no transportation, and Ukraine that they say we want local products. We want to have our raw material here. We don't want that from China that tomorrow Trump is bogus with China. We cannot get it, and so it's very interesting that after so many years that we were searching the best and the lower price, that nowadays we say we want something practical. We want something, how do we say, that we can speak with the companies, that we can get straight. And if the how do we say, if it's not good quality, I can return the product and not wait 1 year that it comes back.
so it can exist a product with the same name
Yes.
in England
Yes,
and the same name in Holland. They can be different.
absolutely. And I give you an example, and I give you a better example. If you go in Saint Martin, okay,
What's that?
Saint Martin,
St. Martin.
Saint Martin.
Sint Maarten.
Yes. So there is a part who is French,
Yeah.
and a part who is Holland.
Yeah.
Okay. The French part are bringing all the stuff from France. The Holland part is bringing a lot from the United States. Okay. But you can go in a shop where you have M&Ms
Yeah.
from United States and from Holland.
Yeah, for Holland.
And the question is, so people say, I see on the big bag they have the OU, And on the little bags, they have not the OU. So a lot of people, they go for Shabbos from Guadeloupe or from Martinique to Saint Martin, you know, it's more, how do we say, it's a more cozy place than, and they come back and they say, I saw on the big container, I saw the OU, but on the little one, I didn't have what should I do? I say, but look, you see, it's not from the same factory. And there is a reason. Because in Europe, you don't want to put that E124 can make your children very, how do you say, nervous, because that's the law that you need to put it. So they put E120 cochineal. But in United States, because there is no law to put that it can make your children nervous, so they use E124. So on the last Congress that I was, I asked the question because now in the United States it's already the same law that in Europe. That also you have to say it. Okay, fine.
I remember when it was in South America,
Yes.
Danny asked me in M&S.
Yes.
Ja, dus.
I can't find this you.
Okay.
I can't find it. Okay, Skoy, I've looked for next time. You can, or Wednesday, from 7 October, or Monday from 19, and you can choose when you want.
Okay, 1 second. 7 October is not a good date.
Ik heb er niet geluisterd, ik weet niet wie
Oh, no. I say from that date, I'm
Yeah.
free.
Okay. Okay.
From that date, the other Wednesdays are on, and the Mondays are free from 19 October.
Okay, so the 12 is not okay. The 12
Okay,
October.
12 is one moment. No, I have already one, but you want the 12?
Yes.
Like, I ask him, this Jacques Deleu, it is
Okay.
no problem.
Okay.
I
Okay.
put them next week. Okay, the 12.
12 at 11.
Okay. Dus Rochefort is Geschwan.
Yes, absolutely.
Goed, Skoyer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for
Very,
coming.
very complicated.
Very
Yes.
interesting also.
No, absolutely.
Difficult.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what can you eat and what you can't?
It's a good advice to slim down a little bit. Magen het